Good morning, this is Rick from the channel, and now what? Today you find me in Medicine Hat, Alberta. I'm at Prairie Gleaners. What an interesting thing. These guys are doing some work of the Lord here that helps to feed the world. I'm going to turn this off in a sec, and we're going to get back to Jim here. He's going to take me through the place. It's fascinating. Stick around.
These racks have 20 trays in them. Each one of them has a Teflon lining. And what these ladies are doing is they're washing the linings, and then they're going to wash each one of the trays. And we do that on a rotating basis because they do get dirty after a while.
Before we move on, I was kind of not thinking. Introduce yourself, please.
Oh, hi, I'm Jim. I'm one of the directors here at the Prairie Gleaners, and I have been coming out here for quite a few years, like 6 or 8 years now.
Excellent.
Wonderful place to work. So what?
Jim, go ahead. Tell us what we're up to here.
Okay, what we're doing here is we get potatoes in. They can be this size, any size, and they come in very dirty. Back in the other room, they get washed, come out looking like this, and then these people take off all the imperfections, such as they would take, things like this off,
Okay.
cut it in half, because traditionally potatoes have a lot of rot inside. And so they at least cut them in half. They put them into these pails. The pails get taken around the other side and they get diced.
Jim, can you tell me a question? These people that are working here, I understand they're all volunteers.
Absolutely.
And yourself included?
Absolutely.
And I understand that you're going to make me work as a volunteer today a little bit later.
We hope to, yes.
You will. I'll be
Okay.
glad to join you.
All kinds, and you can see that this one has an imperfection. This one's a bit mushy, so probably it'll end up in the garbage. Or
When you say you get peppers and all these other vegetables and things we see here, Jim, are they all donated to you?
yes,
Okay.
yes. So these people are going to be taking the seeds out of the peppers. They cut off the tip. This part is garbaged. The rest, they take the seeds out. Then they go into our bins as normal, and behind they get diced again.
Awesome.
So that's peppers here, more potatoes, tomatoes, and that's pretty much what we have in stock right now.
Does this happen like this every day, Jim?
Absolutely. Tuesday through Saturday, 8:30 till noon.
So anybody that's watching that's in the Medicine Hat area, Prairie Gleaners can also always use an extra set of hands. Please come and help out if you see fit. It's doing wonderful work and feeding the world at the same time. We're going to move to another room here and just go a little further with it.
Vegetables have the trimmed parts off. It might look like this.
Okay.
And so what happens then is they bring them in here and they get diced. So you might want to watch him.
Is that a dicer?
It is indeed.
I want you to run it. Let's see how this works.
And watch there too.
There we go. So that's some high-tech dicing.
Yes.
Is this what the end product looks like?
After that, so it goes from there. That gentleman is going to dump it here, and this is a sieve on the bottom. And so all the water for the tomatoes and stuff comes out at the bottom.
Okay.
These gentlemen are taking the diced product, putting it onto the trays that they were washing back there.
Okay.
And they spread it, put it onto racks.
Onto the racks there, okay.
Yeah. And then from the racks, it goes into our dehydrators.
Okay. So Jim, I think I'm looking into a commercial dehydrator. Is that correct?
You are indeed. However, this building used to be Cypress Meat Packers.
Okay.
And that was truly a smoker.
Ah, okay.
And we jerry-rigged it to be a dehydrator.
Okay.
And so we can fit 16 racks with 20 trays on each in here, and by noon we'll turn it on and by the next morning,
So
will
it
be
takes
dry.
overnight to dehydrate everything.
Yes.
Now I'm sure you're going to show me the end result of dehydration, I
I
bet.
am going to, yes.
We'll get to that in just a second. Thanks for
You
tagging
bet.
along, guys. So what we're looking at here is the racks that Jim was talking about. These are ready to go into the dehydrator. I think now we're going to move on to the room that we show where everything comes together after it's been dehydrated and prepared. And again, Jim, you ship this stuff all over the world. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Right now, the emphasis seems to be on the Ukraine because of the world
Yes.
crisis there. We go to Guatemala. I can show you a map in the
Okay.
other room.
Let's head to the map and have a look, and we'll head to the stuff that's already been dehydrated. So here's something that astounds me from a little operation originally in Medicine Hat, Alberta. You're looking at a world map, and it's tough to see, but there are pins and pins and pins. Jim, could you explain to me what's happening with all these pins and this map and all these? There's pictures of people that are obviously very happy to receive Prairie Gleaners product. Tell me a little story about this map.
Okay, this map, or each little pin and flag represents a place we've shipped our product to.
Around the world.
Around the world. So here in northern Canada, Paraguay, this is all Central and South America, a lot in Africa, Eastern Europe, India.
As we currently speak, what would you say is the most needy area of the world right now that requires your assistance?
Right now, for the last year, we've sent a lot of stuff to the Ukraine.
Okay.
And it hasn't gone right into the Ukraine right away necessarily because of the Ukraine-Russia conflict that's going on right now.
Okay.
So quite often it will go to neighboring, like different countries around, like Poland or some such other country, and then smuggled is the wrong word.
That's okay. We can use some words like that.
Okay.
It's clandestinely removed to a different area.
Exactly. Or in some cases, some refugees from Ukraine will come to Poland and receive the product that way as well.
Wonderful.
And all these pictures represent places that we have shipped to. And we try and get each one of these places to send us pictures to show that it actually
That's what the pictures are like. That's what they're all about. And these are just a bunch of happy people receiving the blessings of your product.
Absolutely. So Haiti, Jamaica, the Philippines, Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala, Zaire, the Ukraine, Burundi in Africa, the Arctic here. I just love the one going to the Arctic because we don't think of ourselves as Canadians as needing this kind of product.
Yes.
However, in the Arctic, they can't get fresh vegetables very easily.
Oh, okay.
And so they will ask for our product as well.
So now I just see this sign in the background, gleaning, to gather. Is
Yes.
that the actual meaning of the word gleaning?
It's a very biblical phrase. If you want to turn around,
I will.
this picture is gleaning.
That's gleaning. So
That is what
someone is
gleaning
gathering.
Yes, to gather what is left.
So Jim, I'm thinking next we're going to be heading into the room where actually the prepared product is available to look at.
That is true. But before that, could we just go over here?
Yep, we
to
sure
this
can.
other bulletin
Let me
board?
just follow you.
Okay. This bulletin board kind of describes in picture form what the process is.
Ah, you've got everything laid out there. So we're going to
Right.
see some of this.
So, farmer's field or greenhouses gets donated to us, put into our cooler. Then our volunteers take off the bad parts.
Yes,
It gets diced.
that's the dicer we saw.
Yeah. Spread onto the trays and into racks. Racks go into the dehydrator. The next day, we scrape all of the products that comes off of that,
Okay.
each tray, put it into barrels with plastic inside. We seal those, and then the bagging process starts, which is what we're going to in a few minutes.
Okay.
And this is just a picture of some of our volunteers taking a scoop from each barrel, putting it into these pails, then into the funnel, and then into bags.
So from what I'm seeing here with large container vessels and things, this is no small operation anymore.
It is not.
Very, very interesting.
So then it's boxed, shrink wrapped, put onto semis or sea containers,
Okay.
taken to ports via rail, put onto ships, and on its way to wherever it's destined for.
Isn't it wonderful? And I got to say a story here, Jim, while we're right here. What I'm showing you here, I had this idea to do this video when I heard about this a couple of weeks ago. I walked in the door and they looked at me and they said, we've been looking for someone to make a video. So it's very interesting how the Lord works. Here I am making my video about Prairie Gleaners, Medicine Hat, Alberta. So Jim, I'm kind of calling this the barrel up room. Can you explain all these barrels that we see here? What's going on? What step in the process is this?
This is getting very close to the end of the process.
Okay.
What's happening here is from the other room where they were spreading the product onto those racks, it goes into the dehydrators, and the next day it comes out of the dehydrator. We scrape it into these barrels. Each one of these barrels has a plastic liner, like a big plastic bag, if you will. We seal that, put the lid on it, and then each one of these barrels has some product in it that we label. Like this one here. It was barrel 102 from 2023, and it has tomatoes, peppers, and broccoli in it.
Awesome. So Jim, I'm going to interrupt you here just for a sec. This is a plug for me. Remember, folks, you're watching the channel And Now What? My name is Rick from that channel. You can reach me at andnowwhatvideos@gmail.com. Please stick around till the end of this because we're going to get Jim to put a plug in on how you can get in touch with Prairie Gleaners, either as an assistant, as a I don't know if they need it part of a distribution chain, anything they might need to do this good work and feed the world. We'll get to that at the end of the video. So Jim, let's move on now. You were telling me we have one last section that we have to look at. Let's go and have a pop in there and see what we got. So here we are in the final preparation portion of Prairie Gleaners from Medicine Hat. And Jim, we were talking a bit in between the other room and this one, and you said to me that you guys utilize child labor. Could you explain that to me, please?
We do indeed. We've had volunteers as young as 5 or 6 come in with their parents, of course. And what we have them do is peel off the sticker off of the peppers.
Oh, so they get to do the fun job.
They get to do a fun job. Today, what we're doing is we're going to be bagging, which is putting our product into the bags that get shipped throughout the world.
We'll look at those bags in a moment, correct?
Yes, we will. And so each one of these stations, if you will, gets that much.
What is that product that we're looking at there?
This is lentils.
Okay, dried lentils.
By the way, the lentil, everything in this room, the lentils, we're also going to be talking about beans and peas in a minute.
Okay.
That's all donated.
So this is all donated stuff. The labor is all donated. The building's donated. What have we got here? We have...
Okay, in that one we have, let's see, what is it? It's carrots, peppers, and cabbage.
Carrots, peppers, and cabbage. And what do we have here, Jim?
This one is a mixture of beans and peas.
Okay, and now I'm looking at another interesting one to my left here. What have we got here?
That's potatoes and tomatoes.
Wow. So this is so interesting. I'm going to turn this off for a second. We'll get right back because I don't want to spin the camera. Go ahead, Jim.
So like what I was saying a few minutes ago, each one of these stations, each one of these, we put 2 cups, I think that is. How much is it? Good question.
Close enough, couple cups.
And we try and make it uniform, so we tell all of our volunteers, make it a good scoop, but not heaping.
Okay.
It then gets shipped on to the next line, and each person does that same thing.
Okay.
and then we have to bag it. And so what happens next is somebody will grab one of those pails and...
I'm just backing up and following you around here,
Okay.
Jim. Oh, I see. They'll put the bag there.
And somebody on the other side will dump the pail in.
Okay.
Then it gets put here.
All right.
And then it gets sealed.
So this giant orange machine here is your sealer.
It is indeed.
Okay. Now, you put something on the table in front of me. I'm going to steer away from here for a sec. I want to get a bit of a close-up here. This is basically the finished product. Am I correct?
It is indeed. And by government regulations, we have to put a best before date on it. And that's what this machine does for us.
Okay.
It seals it and gives it a best before date.
So you're seeing something interesting on here, which I picked up on the instant I walked in the door. It says, "In the name of Jesus." Well, guess what?
Absolutely.
This is a bunch of people doing something for the greater good of the world. What a wonderful thing to see happen here today, Jim. I want to do something right now while we're here. I'd like you to give a bit of a plug for Prairie Gleaners. Tell people how they can get a hold of you. Tell everybody what you need.
We can always use volunteers. With the expansion happening, which is that building that we were in with all the barrels, we are hoping to almost double our production, which means we'll be able to send twice as much to all over the world. And so you can contact us by simply driving up.
Do you have an email address? Do you have a website?
We have all of that.
I'm going to include that at the end of this. Stick around.
Good.
I'm going to put the business card so you don't have to do that. Jim, on behalf of everybody that is the receipt of your generosity, I want to thank you. And I have 3 words for you as we end this video. God bless you and all the people, that's more than 3 words, and all the people that are working here and doing this wonderful work. And again, you are at And Now What Videos. You can reach me at andnowwhatvideos@gmail.com. If you need any further information about Jim and Prairie Gleaners and their wonderful organization, let me know. Or look at the card that I include at the end of this and let them know what you think you can do for them. Thank you for your time today, and until we meet again, adios. Hey, how are you? It's Rick from the channel And Now What? Again, we're in Medicine Hat, Alberta, and we're at Prairie Gleaners. We've got a bunch of child labor happening behind us. We're going to go over it in a minute. I'm just making a joke, of course. These are all lovely, wonderful volunteer young adults that have decided to give their time for the greater good of the world. I'm going to turn this around in a second, introduce their teacher, and then we'll go ahead and just have a look at what these guys are doing and what wonderful cause they're working towards. There we go. We got it turned around. This is Heather. And Heather, tell us a little bit about yourself and about your group here, please.
Sure. Hi. I'm a teacher at Crescent Heights High School, and this is our Leadership 20 class. And what we're doing is we go out and volunteer around the community, and our kids learn volunteerism. They learn what altruism is and giving back, and they love coming to Prairie Gleaners. We can tell in real time how many people we're helping. We've been here for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and we've already packaged 22,200 meals to be sent to Venezuela.
22,000?
22,200.
Oh my goodness,
Yes.
Fantastic, good for you. Heather, thank you so much for your time today. And again, it's Rick from the channel And Now What. Reach me at andnowwhatvideos@gmail.com. I'm just going to get a bit of a close-up and watch these guys and look at the whole procedure. Thank you, Heather.
Wonderful, thank you.
I'm so impressed to see a big group of young adults doing this. Guys, thank you very much for your service here today. I'm just having a quick look through. You'll see what they do. They're adding all sorts of the dehydrated food that we had earlier on the video, and then they put it in the sealer over there. I'm going to move over and we're just going to pull the finished product out. So this is just about as slick as you please. And you know what? Even though Heather's the teacher, watch this. They put her to work. Heather, they're making you work. So you're just packaging these. They go into these boxes here. And then we take the young, strong guys and they put them up the top there because us old people are too old to do that. Wonderful job, buddy. What's your name?
Sydney.
Sydney, thank you. You're doing a great job, buddy. So guys, please support Prairie Gleaners. Just a wonderful, wonderful cause. And until we meet again, adios. So as you just saw on my chest, it says Prairie Gleaners. And anybody that knows me knows that the only thing that I make for dinner at night is reservations. So the fact that these wonderful volunteers got me to work here is actually amazing. And yes, I have a face made for radio, but I decided that I'd let my sister do the filming, and I'd show you what we're doing here. We're cutting up potatoes. We take them, make sure that they're good. This is the start of the finished product. We're not going to make this too long of a section because I don't want to be seen working too much. So on behalf of Prairie Gleaners and the channel, and now what? I bid you adieu. So I was just told that I had to